have Reform openly admitted they like to spread misinformation on social media. The Liberal Democrats member Matt Wilkinson raised a point of order the other day, stating that during Prime Minister's questions last week, a microphone picked him up insulting Nigel Farage his many jobs. Here's the point of order.
During Prime Minister's questions last Wednesday, I was sitting behind the Honourable Member for Clacton. I made some comments and I learned the lesson that the microphones in this place are very good and they pick up comments that are made directly behind Honourable Members. The comments that I made related to the Honourable Member's second earnings declared on his register of interests. A Reform UK social media account digitally manipulated those comments to give the appearance that I had described the Honourable Member for Clacton using a 4-letter expletive. This is misinformation, it is fake news, this is Trumpian tactics. It was reported to X, Elon Musk's X. No response was received. If footage in this House is allowed to be digitally manipulated for political ends in the name of members of this House, then that puts at risk the proceedings in this House and I believe puts at risk democracy. I raise this point of order today to put on the public record the facts so my constituents and everyone else knows what actually happened and to seek your advice through the Chair on what I should do.
Okay, so in that he said the words he spoke were that Farage could pay for it from his second jobs. So let's have a look at that PMQs and that moment.
10,000 young, undocumented males have illegally crossed the English Channel into our country, a 40% increase on this time last year, many coming from cultures that are somewhat alien to ours. They are being housed at a cost of many billions of pounds a year in hotels and increasingly in private rented homes. The effect on communities is one of a sense of deep unfairness, actually bordering on resentment. In Runcorn alone, there are 750 of these young men. Just in one. Is it not time to admit that Smash the Gangs was nothing more than an election slogan and not a policy? And isn't it time to declare a national emergency and to act accordingly?
Now, you can hear what he says there. During his point of order, he pointed out that Reform had been amplifying misinformation. Now, when I went to get the clip to show this, I couldn't find it on Reform's Twitter page. And a Google search only comes up with this result, yet when you click on it, it just goes to this page. It's already been removed. So I can only assume that the MP's been on to Google to make sure that all links have been delisted. But we know it did exist at one point. It does really frustrate me that in this day and age that people are allowed to spread such misinformation, such as Nigel Farage during the Southport riots, to such an extent that it actually gets renamed as the Farage riots. And he gets away with it by claiming he was just asking questions. An interesting point, though, was earlier in the day, Richard Tice was talking about this very issue. When asking about terrorist incidents, he was wanting the government to openly risk live criminal cases by providing sensitive information about the perpetrator, in turn which could then sway a jury should it go to court.
The Minister has paid tribute to the quality of advice from Jonathan Hall, KC, the independent reviewer of terrorism, and said that he will indeed listen to that advice. Well, that same Jonathan Hall, KC, last autumn advised that in serious incidences involving terror and these sorts of incidents, it would be better to put out more information sooner in order to prevent misinformation. And in order to prevent misinformation, surely the Minister should tell us and the British people who want to know how long have these Iranian nationals been in this country and what is their immigration status?
But he clearly says here that if the government doesn't release this information, it opens the door for people to make things up, just like they did with Max Wilkinson. And they've even been doing it today in regards to the Indian trade deal. Just complete lies about putting Indian workers ahead of British workers. It's all designed to rile up hate and division. And it's about time that we had some proper media regulation so stuff like this can't continue. One thing's for sure, though, at the weekend, it was nice to see all the major parties come together and actually agree on something for a change. They all called out Reform for what they really are. And if you want to know what that is, well, then you'll need to watch the video that's on screen now. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit that like button, and I'll see you next time.